The key for a Harley isn't really their earnings, which were really like not great, but the potential, or not the potential, but a stake sale of their captive finance company, which came in at a much higher price than people were expecting. That's going to be used, or the proceeds are $1.25 billion, with the proceeds used for a mix of share purchases, paying down debt, and also for capital investment.
Okay, so when I go in to buy a Harley-Davidson motorcycle at the dealership, I finance it through this part of Harley.
That's exactly
That's
right.
what they sold,
Yes.
or that's part of what they're selling. Who's buying it and why?
Sure. KKR and Pimco are the buyers, each taking a 4.9% stake. And really, they're buying it because that business has been a very profitable business for many, many years. It actually should be more than 50% of Harley's overall profits. They actually make more money from the financing side than they do from manufacturing vehicles right now, which goes to the trouble that they're having on the manufacturing side.
Or let's talk about the manufacturing side. What's the motorcycle market like these days?
The motorcycle business isn't bad. I think the challenge with Harley is that it's kind of one of those melting ice cubes that sometimes you see in the media world that you would know well of. If you go back 10 years ago, the manufacturing side, its sales are down 13% over 10 years. But the real issue is that the margins have gone from 20%, so they're making 20 cents on the dollar 10 years ago. Now they make about 5 cents.
Wow.
And so it's really the profitability and the erosion and not really playing to their strengths.
Is that because they can't raise prices or their costs have gone up?
Well, I think it's really, they've kind of lost their way a little bit. They were talking today about their $6,000 motorcycle that they're excited about. And I know, like, it's the premium brand. It's that iconic image of a Harley. It's that V8 engine playing to the electrician or the plumber, the mechanic that has an $80,000 to $100,000 income and owns a Mustang. Like, that's who they should be playing to in that 40 to 60-year-old age range. Like, that's their customer. But they've tried to move out into different segments of the marketplace and have really gotten hurt and eroded their image.
But I can't think of a more American-made product anywhere than Harley-Davidson. So are they immune from tariffs? Does that give them an advantage versus some of these Japanese brands?
They're not immune from them, but they do have 25% of their business in Europe and another 25% in Asia.
Oh, okay.
But really, like the U.S. is where they're big and where they dominate. They just haven't done a great job of marketing to that person and putting engineering into that customer.
Should I be more excited about Harley-Davidson stock, hog, or Harley-Davidson bonds?
Well, I just look at the bonds, and I'm not that excited about the bonds. But what I will say for them is that they're going to remain investment grade after the sale, and they trade very wide to their ratings. And so, like, that is always an interesting combination that people look at.
What does that yield, or what?
Well, they have a variety of issues.
Well, yeah.
But I would say that in general, they trade about 20 to 30 basis points wide of where their ratings are. So what a credit rater thinks. And usually bonds trade to what the raters think.